Welcome back to my YouTube channel, friends. Today we are going to cover SQL injection. What is the SQL injection? So these are the summary that these are the topic that I am going to cover today. Normal access of website with authentication form. This is the first topic. Second topic, bypass authentication with the help of SQL injection attack. Third topic, what happens if we pass malicious input to the user input form. Fourth topic, what is the loss after SQL injection attack, and using the tool how you can identify SQL injection vulnerability. Then some protection policy also I will tell you what are the protection policy you need to implement against the SQL injection and what are the solutions there for the SQL injection. So let's start today's topic, SQL injection. So this is the website I developed for you. This is for the demonstration purpose. I deployed this website on the application server, and I will show you what is the SQL injection and how SQL injection is work. How SQL injection is working. Now this is the demo example. Here you will see that university login form. Let us start with the normal access. I have my own database also. This is my database. I have username and password with me. This is the authentication table is there with me. Now as a student I am entering username and password. So say login. So once you enter valid username and password, you will get welcome to university admin page. Means you can easily enter in the internal web pages that is there for your website. So these are the internal page I am able to access after username and password. So these are the features. There are many more features are there in university website. So this is for the demonstration purpose. One of the feature is there, download feature is there. Once you click on the download feature, you will see that download book option is here. In this form, download book, you need to enter book ID. So once you enter the book ID, you say submit. You will see that book ID, book name and download link is there. So you can download the link by clicking on this download link. So you successfully download. So this is how normal execution, normal way of flow. You are authenticated user, authorized user, and you enter username and password and you access the website, and you are using the features that are for you, and some basic and some confidential information also there, personal information also there that is related to you only. Now I will show you bypass authentication. If I will enter some malicious input, suppose I have some malicious input with me, I will enter this malicious input, and with that malicious input I will show you how you can bypass the authentication. This login form you can bypass and you can directly jump into the internal pages, that is admin page. So suppose this is some username and password is here. I will use this username and this is a password. Click on login. Friends, how this is possible? I am not authorized person, but still university is allowing me to access their pages. How this is possible? I am giving some random malicious input, and still it is telling that these are the valid input, and my SQL injection means my background query is running successfully and returning a result. This is not a correct way. This is wrong. There are some other malicious input also. Let us try with another malicious input. So I have the list of malicious input. I will try another one. If you try all this one, you will see that all the queries, all the malicious input is valid for your authentication page. This is my input. This is my output. And this is my password. Click on login. Oops. What happened? It is again telling me that this is the authenticated username and password, valid username and password, and you are entering inside the web pages. Oops. So let's try one more malicious input. This time I am using this one. Yeah. Okay. So friends, by passing malicious input also I am able to access the internal admin pages of your website. So it is wrong now, and you can easily hack the information. You can get all the personal information of another person, and you can access and use the features of your website also. Suppose here I am passing this kind of information, so you will get this information and you can download all this thing. So you can easily getting access to use the internal information that is there. So it is a wrong. So how can you avoid this one? This is the malicious input you are giving, and this is known as a SQL injection attack. Friends, I will try one more malicious input here. To this input form, I will give some another malicious input. So this is the input and some random password, any password that is not belonging to my database I am giving here. Say login. See friends, by entering a wrong username and password, still you are getting to access. Still your website is giving you authentication to access by all web pages. So this is what the SQL injection attack. And once you get the entry in your website, the user can stolen your personal information. He can misuse that information, and he can easily access the feature that are provided by you for the student only. But you are not the student, you are the hacker, or you are the some third party person who don't have the authentication and authorization permission here, but still he is able to access the features that are there internal to your website. So this is also another malicious input I am giving here. Once you click here, you will see that you are getting all the books that are there in library, and you can download all the books from that library. So this is what the SQL injection attack. Friends, most of the website asking you to enter username as the email address and pass the password. In that case, in my database, I have given some authorization information for the people who can log in. So some email IDs is there, and username and password is also there. So I have my own database table here. Friends, I have all the personal information of my user who can access my website. I have a database, I have a record of the people in my database. Sometimes in your website they will ask you to enter the username as the email address and password. In that case, if I am giving some valid email address, the password, click on login. So this is the valid input, valid username and password I entered there. But if I will give some malicious input, let us see what happens. Instead of giving valid username and valid password, I will use this kind of information. These are the malicious input I am giving to my university login form, and I will say login. See, friends, you will see that the username that I entered there, that is the malicious input, and this inputs is directly submitted or given to the SQL query that is running internally into my background, into my database. They are processing, they are taking the inputs, validate the inputs, and they are execute the query and returning the information from the database to me. Even I am passing malicious input, still I am getting output. So this is called as valid out. So this is called as SQL injection attack. Now, what happened internally while you are giving some inputs to you? Let us understand. So this is the picture in front of you, friends. In this picture, you will see that there is some hacker is here. He's the hacker here, and hacker will identify such kind of website which are SQL driven vulnerable website, and he will inject some malicious input to the input form in your website. This is your website. On this website he will enter some malicious input, and with that input, whenever he submit the SQL query internally running into the background stage. Here you will see that in your website, as you are entering the malicious input. So this is the URL. Hacker always finding out. So this is the URL, has a SQL driven vulnerability is there. So he is passing some input through this form. This is the form he is passing the inputs here, and internally when he says submit, when he say click on the login, internally some SQL query is running. You will see that this is how SQL query is running, and they are validating that user input that enter, and they are passing as a malicious input, still they are valid, and this is what the query is validate and execute a malicious SQL query, and giving the command to execute by the database. As the query is valid, the information related to that input and given returning back to the user, to the hacker. So indirectly hacker is acting as a administrator. We are granting access him to view my information. He can alter the information. He might be add some malicious input. He will remove the records. He can truncate your database. All the fields value he can update. So this kind of malicious activity, malfunctioning he will do on your website. So this is what the input you are giving through the web form. Sometimes if the input is given through the URL also, that is also possible. Through the URL he will identify these are the URLs, these are the SQL driven malicious, these are the vulnerable SQL driven vulnerable URLs are there. Through this URL they can passing the input to this URL, and they will submit that form and to the application server. Once they will get the request, the application server internally processing the database. SQL query is running at the background. This is how the SQL query they are running at the background, and they are returning the output back to the user, means it is nothing but the hacker. So this is what happening generally when the SQL injection attack has work on your website. So how can you avoid this kind of thing? Friends, you will say that after what are the laws you will see after SQL injection on your website. There are millions of websites are there all over the India, all over the world, and they are published on the internet. So what are the wrong things that could be happen when you suffer a SQL injection attack? You will see that the attacker or the person who are doing SQL injection attack on your website, you can extract your sensitive information like social security number, credit card details, bank, passport, defense related information. He can easily extract this sensitive information. These are very sensitive information, and he can do some malfunctioning on your website also. He can enumerate the authentication detail of user registered on a website. He can easily store all the information. So this login can be used in attack on other website also, other sites also. He can delete the data, he can drop the table, he can corrupt your database, and he can make your website unusable. He can inject further malicious code to be executed when user visit the site. Some virus attack is also possible. So these are the things happen if SQL injection attack has done or on your website. Friends, there are some vulnerable SQL driven vulnerable URLs are there over the internet. You will easily find out that such kind of websites are there. If you go on the internet, and you will see that on the Google, if you enter SQL injection vulnerability, website list, so you will easily find out SQL injection vulnerable website list. So these are the list. So the vulnerable website list for 2020. Most of the time you will see that PHP based website and the website that are using MySQL database, that are most, you will find that such kind of websites are vulnerable website. So friends, you will see that this is the list of vulnerable website. So these are the list of SQL vulnerable website. You will see that these are the list. If you access any one of the list, you will see that there is some vulnerability is there in their website. So in that case, the hacker or the third party user can easily pass malicious input to the URL, and he might be damage your website, he might be hack your data, he might be manipulate your data. So this is what happening. Now there is some tool out there you can use. SQL map is one of the tool is there. With the help of SQL map, you can identify the vulnerability, what are the vulnerability is there inside your website. So I have the URL. This is the URL I have. I will show you how you can check the vulnerability, SQL vulnerability, to this URL with the help of SQL map. These are the tools there over the internet. If you go and if you find out SQL map, this is the website, SQL map org website. If you go on this website, you will see that on the your right side you will see the download zip file is there. You need to download this zip file and you need to extract this zip file on C drive. I already extracted that file. I will show you on my C drive. So this is the SQL map. I downloaded that zip file and extracted here. Friends, to run this SQL, so I will check on the command prompt SQL map. I will show you. You need to open command prompt in administrative mode. Right click, run as administrator. So here I need to go the location of SQL map. SQL map. CD, sorry, SQL map.py. If you click this SQL map py, this py, the dot extension .py means is the Python base. To run this SQL map, you need to install the Python in your machine. Then only this query, this command will work. If you enter, so friend, this is how SQL map is ready to use. To run this SQL map, you need to download Python. So on the internet here, you need to search out download Python, and you need to visit this website, and you can download the latest version for the Windows. So this thing you need to download. Once you install this Python, then only your SQL map will work. Now friends, I will show you through the SQL, through this URL, how you can find out the SQL vulnerability in your website. So I wanted to find out what are the database you are using in your website. With the help of this URL, I will easily find out how. SQL map.py /u, this URL. You can pass the cookie also here. If you will not pass the cookie, he will identify the cookie. SQL map will identify the cookie for you. So this is the instruction command I am giving to SQL map. Find out the DB databases, all the databases that are there internal to my website on this for this URL. So it's working. It is asking me to use the same cookie. I will say yes, use the same cookie. Now friends, you will see that all the database, available database is 5. Information schema, performance schema, MySQL, system, and test. You will see that MySQL I am using less than 5.0.12. In this way they are telling what are the SQL version you are using, and so this is the vulnerability you will find out on this URL. These are the vulnerabilities there. So once you get the information about a database, you can easily get to know what are the tables are there. So if I wanted to know what are the tables are there, so or what are the tables in the database, test. This is the test is the database. I wanted to know what are the internal tables are there. So -d test space -tables tables. Pass this command to SQL map. I want to use this as cookie. So see friends, you will get to know the tables that are present inside the database. Now I wanted to know what are the columns are there within that table. So how can you pass the command -d test -t tables table in books, and columns in that table, show me the column. So this is what happen if your website support SQL vulnerability. End user will easily get to know your table information, your database information, your database database table column information. I wanted to know current user, who is the current user for this one. For this URL, what is the current user? So this is the command you will identify me the current user, root at direct localhost. The current user. I wanted to know current DB. What is the current DB is there? Show me the current DB for this URL link. So this is the current DB. This is the current DB. So this is how you will get to know the personal information that is internal to your database, internal to your website, that only you know. But you can find out with the help of tool. You can easily find out what are the vulnerabilities there in your code. This tool will help you. So friends, this is for only education purpose. You can use this tool for knowing the things, what is SQL injection and how you can avoid SQL injection. Now friends, you need to go what are the protection policy you need to use against the SQL injection. So what are the protection policy you need to follow to avoid the SQL injection attack on your website? In my code, if you see the here, I'm using in my login code, I am using statement, create statement here. So to avoid such kind, if you want to avoid the SQL injection attack, instead of using create statement, you need to use repair statement. So I will show you repair statement. Most of the SQL injection attack works on your dynamic SQL statement. So if you wrote bad SQL statement, then SQL injection attack, this kind of attack that can be exploit your bad SQL statement. So I will, instead of create statement, I will prefer to use prepare statement here. And instead of passing this inputs, instead of string format, I will pass this input as a parameter. This is the username, question mark, and I will set that information. I will set this parameter through the statement.set string. First parameter, second parameter I am setting in this way. Result set, statement.execute query, result set, and this is how you can use prepare statement instead of now let us say website. Here these are the malicious input. I changed my SQL query internally because whatever the malicious input I will passing through the input form, that will be work on my dynamic SQL statement. So these are the query internally taking this in malicious input and doing the operation. So let us try with this malicious input. This is the username, this is the password. Oops, something is wrong there. I need to check, find out what is the problem. I forgot to save these changes. So let's try again. SQL injection attack. This is the term. And this is the password. Oops, something wrong. Please try again. So once I changed my SQL query, dynamic SQL query, instead of create statement I am using prepare statement. So this is the one way you can avoid the SQL injection attack with the help of prepare statement. In your code, if you are using ORM, object relational mapping, if you are using Hibernate kind of technology, JPA technology, at that time you can use lambda expression. At that time you can use some ORM tools like Hibernate or Eclipse link or top link. In that case, whenever you wrote the query, you have to use named query. So means it is better to write, instead of writing the normal query, you can write named query there, because named query internally use lambda expression. Internally use prepare statement. Second thing you can take care, while you are passing this information through the authentication form or through some registration form or through some text information, controller information, HTML controller information. So you need to take care. In this website, these are the things from where you will getting this malicious input. You need to avoid that input from here itself. So you can use various regular expression to avoid the wrong input. You can use JavaScript here. You can do the strong validation in client side itself. I will show you some kind of validation here. You can check the special character. If you in your website, if you put some special character, just like these kind of things, these are the special character you are using here, or you will see these are the special character you are entering here. So you need to avoid this kind of special character while entering into your input controller. What are the inputs you need there? So you need to provide, these are the regular expression you can use, so they will identify. Apart from this input, if you are writing something other, then your website, means your form should not be allow him to insert, or you should not be allow him to submit this information. Similarly, you can check phone number, mobile number, some regular expression is there for it. That should be 9 number digit or 10 number digit, and it should be start with this one, and some number is there 999. These are the fancy numbers are there, that should not be allowed. So you can avoid such kind of thing at the time of entering the inputs in your input controller. You can validate at the client side itself. Similarly, at the time of email address, if you are entering some email address, it has to follow some format. That format also you can, with the help of regular expression, you can identify the malicious input while entering the data into user input form. Or some typical information, account information if you want to enter, or some PAN card number you need to enter, or Aadhaar card you want to enter, mobile number you want to enter. You need to validate that the number that you are giving, some PAN card information you are giving, a top account number you are giving, zip code or pin code number you are giving. So all these things you need to validate before submit before submit to your form. You will see here SQL injection also you can avoid. So this is validate the SQL injection. So at the time of passing some inputs through the input controller, you need to find out whether you are passing some texts that are related with the SQL injection, such as create, alter, grant, null, alters, insert, update, delete. So these are the script. This is also malicious input for you. Script. This is also malicious input for you. To avoid this kind of malicious input, you need to validate all the inputs that are there in your form. Require inputs, that all inputs should be authenticated and all the inputs should be proper. So before submit a form, you have a better idea about that one, so that things you can avoid there. Some more things also there. You need to follow security purpose, means two-way security is there. Two-way security, you know that, or sometimes you need to follow OTP or CAPTCHA also you can use here. Some OTP kind of security you can implement on your website. You can use CAPTCHA, or you can use two-way security. So these are the things that you need to take care to avoid, or these are the protection policy you need to follow to avoid the SQL injection. And this is all about SQL injection. So hope guys you like this video tutorial. In separate video tutorial I will tell you how I will show you how to install SQL map on your Windows machine. This is that is a separate video. You can see that video and you will get the idea how SQL map will work on your system, and how SQL map takes the help of Python to run the SQL map on your Windows machine. So friends, thank you very much. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. So take care friends. Thank you.